Welcome back. Here we go again, and we are My Sister's Keeper. Thank you all so much for sharing and subscribing, and for sharing with your sister friends, your best friends, your partner, whoever that woman is in your life that is just amazing and incredible. But you see, yeah, she's got some things that she needs to work on. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today is self-awareness. So I'm going to be looking at some notes because, I like to do research and get some facts about some things. So I wanted to get a very good definition of self-awareness for you. So ignore my little rabbit. Yeah, he kind of fell. But one of the things I love to do, one of the things that I became self-aware about is that I'm one of those people, change up my decor according to the season. Yeah, I finally accepted that about myself. Okay? And how did I do that? It's a part of self-awareness. Didn't you like that segue? So I was reading an article by Better Up on why self-awareness is important. What is it? So their definition is self-awareness is the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, or emotions don't align with internal standards, okay? So when you are highly aware, all right, it says that you can objectively evaluate yourself, manage your emotions, align your behavior with your values, and I love this one, and understand correctly how others perceive you. But you're like, Kiki, I thought we were talking about bankrupt self-worth. Well, guess what? Remember we talked about, and if you didn't see it, go back to the last YouTube video that I did talking about the steps and the challenges when it comes to bankrupt self-worth, right? You have to know that you even have an issue. And a lot of that times, my highly boss chicks, we are so confident in different areas, and women, period, we are confident in certain areas, but in certain ones, we are not. Why? You're like, what does confidence got to do with it? Because a lot of times when we are confident in a certain area, right? Or we have, let me see. Did y'all see that? I'm really trying to wipe my nose on the slide because it's really cold in here and I should have warmed up myself, but I didn't. Okay, so forgive me. I know. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So when we are confident, a lot of times we mistake that for having a abundance of self-worth when we can have it in certain areas. So we have to become self-aware that we are even having a self-worth issue. Okay? Okay. And so when I think about self-worth and think about the definition that they gave us, is you are aware, you're checking in with yourself. And so a perfect example that I have for you all is I was doing some online dating, and yes, my single girls, ooh-wee. And those of you who've done online dating, ooh, to the wee, okay? It's interesting. And so I was chatting with this guy, and so we'd only been chatting maybe like 2 or 3 days, and then he was like, hey, can I get your number? So immediately I felt some kind of way, right? And so I was like, man, what is that? And so dealing with my own self-worth issues in the past, one of the things that's a struggle for those of us who have dealt with self-worth issues is that we are people pleasers a lot of the time, okay? And so when you're an extroverted personality like myself, a lot of times extroverts, we are already people pleasers by nature because we want to see everybody happy. But when you have a self-worth issue, then it's just coupled with that and it is intensified. So we struggle, okay? I struggled with people pleasing. Because of course now, and this is so important when we talk about self-awareness, is first off, what's that inner dialogue? So I'm having an inner dialogue, and my inner dialogue is like, no, it's too soon, this is too fast, I don't feel comfortable. But then I've got the critic, okay, side of me saying, oh, but if you don't, what kind of person does that make you? Like, he's just trying to get to know you better. You came on here to do this. This is the reason why, and then here goes the people pleasing, the self-worth, that I have to check. Oh, he's going to be mad. He's probably going to be upset with you. Okay. Now, for some of you, it's like, oh, child, please let him be mad. I don't care. Yeah. But when you are self-aware, you really do understand that people being upset with you is something that bothers you, and you don't try to push it off as it doesn't, and it really does. And so when you are not aware of that, you will continue to operate in behaviors and not align with what's going on and it's truth for you, because you won't accept that reality about yourself. So I accepted that reality about myself. So now I'm thinking, what do I do? This doesn't align with my values. This isn't what I want to do. I don't want to do that. I don't feel comfortable. I sent it back. Listen, I'd rather chat here for a while. Then when I'm comfortable, I'll give you my number. Your choice. Didn't I hear from him again? Okay? And of course, here goes the critic inside. You see, but I'm like, but I probably dodged a bullet, because if he had a problem with respecting my boundaries and respecting my comfortability levels, then other things that I might not have been comfortable with, it might have been a problem for him. So when the next guy came along, same situation, right? And great guy, he seemed really nice, really sweet. Same thing. His story was that the app was glitchy for him. I was like, well, I understand that. I'm patient, but I really feel more comfortable, not giving my number out yet. And he and I have been talking probably like all day, and sometimes, when you're in these situations, when you're talking with somebody like that, sometimes some people get the idea that, you're closer than you really are, and you're not. You don't know this person. So when I said that to him, he said, oh, no problem. We can chat here, whenever you're comfortable, just let me know. I like people to respect my boundaries, so I want to respect yours. But I had to be aware. So one of the things is you have to check that inner dialogue. What are you saying to yourself? Remember, I told you, when we deal with self-worth issues, a lot of times that story that keeps playing is, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. They're not going to like me. Something's wrong with me. I'm broken. Okay. So you got to check. What is your inner dialogue saying? Okay. Then what's also very important, and I'm looking at my notes again, is that as you're becoming more self-aware, then you've also got to ask yourself the what and the why questions. Okay. What am I feeling right now? See, in my example, I was like, I'm feeling something. I'm not sure what. Okay. But what is it? I'm not feeling comfortable. Okay. I'm feeling tense. I'm feeling anxiety. I'm feeling whatever it might be. Why am I feeling like this? Because I really don't want to give him my number. Okay. And that's okay. And so that's why it's so important that you ask yourself those questions, the what and the why. So check in with your inner dialogue. Then you've got to check the what and the why. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling like this? If you are, about to give a presentation, or your boss asks you to give a presentation and you don't want to, and it is burning your stomach, you've got bubble guts, as my best friend says, because you don't want to do this. Why am I feeling? What am I feeling? I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling bubble guts. But why am I feeling this way? I'm feeling this way because I don't like speaking in front of other people. But why don't I like speaking in front of people? Because I don't want to be judged. I don't want them to talk about me. I don't want, I'm not a well speaker. I sound stupid. See, when I say I sound stupid, here's self-worth issues coming in. Okay? So you keep drilling down on that. Another great way to become more self-aware is ask your friends. Ask your bestie, your best friend. Ask your parents sometimes. And one of the things that the article I read from Better Up said is that make a list how you perceive yourself and what others say about you. Because sometimes we think that we are the best thing that happened, okay, since peanut butter and jelly came together, right? But other people are like, no, that's not really you. It was so funny. One of my baby sisters, Kayla, I'll call her name. I didn't realize I fuss with my sisters. I fuss, okay? And so I hadn't heard from her for a while, and then she was giving me some news, some updates, and I'm like, and before I could even get it out, she was like, the reason why I didn't tell you is because, I've been working, I've been blah, blah, and I wanted us to go out together, and that's why I was calling you, so we can go out and we can talk about it. And I was like, she completely took the wind out of my sails. I said, hey, I was going to fuss. And she's like, I know. I was like, oh. I'm like, I fuss. I do fuss a lot, huh? She's like, yeah. But I didn't see myself as somebody who fusses, But I do that. So make that list. Make a list of, what are some things that you think about yourself? And then ask. But you have to be willing. You got to be willing to accept feedback. That's something that's so important when you are becoming more self-aware. Even on your job, asking for feedback from your boss, So that way you can become more self-aware. All right, lastly, you have to practice mindfulness. And we'll get into that a little bit more because I love that the article talked about that. And that one of those things when it comes to practicing mindfulness is that you're checking in with your emotions, with your thoughts. Sort of like what I was talking about with number one, your inner dialogue. So you're doing that. You're practicing that, okay? You can journal with that. It's really good to journal to when you get home. What were my challenges today? How did I react or how did I respond? Because there is a difference of reacting to something, where you're like, ah! Or responding. I didn't appreciate that you did that. Right? So it's different ways. So kind of journaling, how did I respond to that challenge? How did I react to that challenge? How can I become the better version of myself tomorrow when it comes to that? So that's something that you can do when you're practicing mindfulness. Just always checking in with yourself. Okay? So that's it, guys. That's what we're talking about today. In order for you to understand and see where your bankruptcy is in your self-worth, you have got to become more self-aware. So you've got to discover and look at your inner dialogue. You've got to ask the what and the why and drill down on it. You have got to, y'all remember what the third one was? What was the third one? The third one was it practice mindfulness? No, I was saying ask others. Yay, I remembered because my computer went off. Ask others, what's my deal? Give me feedback. Make a chart, how I perceive myself, how others perceive me. And then practice mindfulness. Make a journal for yourself of how you did that day. What were your thoughts about whatever happened? Okay? Check in with yourself. Check in. What's going on? How am I talking to myself? What am I thinking about right now? How am I feeling right now? A bankrupt self-worth is going to cause you so much headache and pain. And it really does affect a lot of our relationships. It can affect our career. It can affect how we see ourselves with money, our value, our worth. It's so important. But the first thing you got to do is start to become more aware that you are having bankruptcy in your self-worth. Love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Share this. Please share this. Okay, got more great things coming in the future, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for joining me on this self-worth healing journey. If you need assistance, if you would like a coach, I am available, Coach Key. Hit me up, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. We're here for you. Oh, and don't forget, join our Facebook group at My Sisters Keep Her. I don't think it's .com, but that's the Facebook group. I'll put it. check out the text. It'll be there.